Welcome to the third-party Transformer news for Retro Robot Radio for the date of August 29th, 2015. Alright, it's a big news week, and we got lots of stuff to go through, so let's get started. FansProject released some images of their Severo figure, which is their version of Grimlock. You can see here, he's based on the Grimlock figure that goes with their Lost Exo Realm. I'm trying to look at it to see how it transforms. Looks like the dinosaur legs are the arms, and the legs are the tail. And it kind of has a transformation like a like the Masterpiece figure, where the tail kind of goes into the legs like that. I like that. It also seems to have given him a sword and two big Gatling guns, which is nice. And the Gatling guns do mount on his back. I haven't seen any pictures yet of the little Solaron figure that's supposed to come with him, transforming into a weapon of some type. FansProject also released a picture of Dinoichi, which is their version of the chest of Monstructor or Dino King. Yeah, this is the Dino King version. And Dinoichi is the basically colored like the Japanese release of Slog. Here you can see him in his alternate as a little monster. And in Dino King, this guy came with the Triceratops Pretender shell. You may know that the Dino King Transformers each turned into monsters. Just generic monstery things, but then also they had dinosaur-themed shells. By the way, the name Dinoichi, Ichi is Japanese for one. Also, we have Dino Knee, which Dino Knee is their version of the Japanese version of Wildfly. I think he forms an arm of Dino King or Monstructor. This is in the Dino King colors, and he turns into a... Well, he looks like an arm with bird wings and a head. But hey, you know, we're going to be using him as an arm probably more often than as a bird or a robot. And also we got this images of Tricerabot, which is the shell that goes with Dinoichi. By the way, Dino Knee is Japanese for Dino 2. So you can guess that the next one's going to be Dino 3, 4, 5, and 6. But Tricerabot here will work with the Dinoichi member. You can put him inside. I am told this will be sold separately from the robot, just for $30, $40, and it is quite large. It's good, like ultra size, almost no articulation whatsoever. Maybe it looks like you can put his gun in the back of it and turn that. That's about it. And it looks like it has stickers and maybe painted eyes and a little bit of paint applications. So that's neat. FansProject also teased this Positum logo, which you may notice is the logo for their Crocs figure mixed together with a truck. And most people are saying this is basically going to be a exclusive they're releasing of this old 2012 TFCon teaser they did, which is a Optimus Prime color version of Crocs. You may know this is from the episode City of Steel, where Optimus Prime's body was turned into an alligator, and that's exactly what this is colored like. So it's kind of neat that they actually made a Optimus Prime alligator headmaster transformer. I wonder if someone's going to release a replacement head for this guy that has a more Optimus Prime looking head, because the image we see here, it's still Croc's head, just colored in Optimus Prime colors. Gigapower released a couple images of their coming Gravitor figure. This is the really big Masterpiece scale Dinobot sludge called Gravitor. And here you can see him in his alternate mode. Hopefully we'll see more of that soon. Here, see, this is what it looks like when it's really big. Okay, yeah, not much in the way of detail there yet. We'll hope there's more. KFC has been releasing some nearly complete looking images of their version of Twincast. He will actually ship with a version of Rosanna and a little cassette called Stinger. For those of you who don't remember this, he's the guy who didn't appear in the Transformers 1986 movie, but in a early script, some of the cassettes in Blaster were different than the ones that ended up, and one of them was a cassette that turned into a Scorpion called Stinger. So there's never been any real images of what Stinger looked like, so someone just made up a cassette transformer that turned into a Scorpion, and yeah, that's what Stinger is going to be. So it's a movie character that never existed. Mastermind Creations just announced that a upcoming Singapore convention exclusive recolor box set is going to be made of Feral Rex. This one's called Nero Rex, and it will be in black and purple and silver colors. And it's basically the 5 members. No word yet on if there's going to be a Fila Saber 6 member or not. I wouldn't mind if they released their Azalea in these colors too, but hey, that's me. But yeah, here's your big black bull and a and a rhino. So if you like your black repaints, this is definitely the chase set to get. Play With This 2 had a whole bunch of announcements this last week. Here you can see a render of their upcoming Jet Strike figure. And this is what the colors are going to look like. Albie Lim put this together, and he talked about this on his Repack podcast recently. They said that it was kind of inspired by Pretender Starscream, but they didn't want to follow the colors 100%. They did a little bit new on it. Also, the wings, which aren't, Pretender Starscream didn't actually have any wings except for the ones that were on the inner robot. They gave him wings that can also come off and become a shield, and they came up with an original deco on them. One side has stripes, and the other side has an image that looks like his mace falling to Earth, which is kind of neat. They also announced that there will be customizer editions of both Jet Strike and Boneyard available at their Kickstarter. These are just made in pure white and meant to encourage people to come up with their own designs by painting the figure up. There will be also a Flare Strike Kickstarter exclusive. He's basically Sunstorm colored version of the Jet Strike, and there's about a flame deco on the wings, which is kind of neat. And we just got, before I finished processing this video, an image of the painted prototype figure of Jet Strike. Here's what it's going to look like. I'm told that their Kickstarter, they're just waiting for final pricing on this from one of their factories, and then they'll be able to set up the Kickstarter to go. Their plan is to have a 30-day long Kickstarter starting in September, and probably planned to start so that the 30 days ends at TFCon USA 2015 when they're there, and they'll be there with the figures watching it end. So that'll be neat, and I think that TFCon ends on like the, was it 19th of October? So probably 30 days before that is when it'll start, if everything goes well. A new announcement we have there is something called Project 7 Stars. We've only seen outlines of it so far, these silhouettes, but it's an original character concept. I guess it's related to the guys from that did the Marauders, and they are transforming robots that turn into vehicles and then are also a combiner. And I'm guessing with a name like Project 7 Stars, there's 7 of them. That's my guess. But you can see kind of what the figures will look like. They're kind of a anime robot-looking thing. And hopefully we'll find out more about them sometime soon. Kind of reminds me of something from later Macross. But it'd be neat to see somebody try something new. Reprolabels showed off their upgrade sets for various third-party Transformers this last week. All the Warbotron sets got their own upgrades. Here you can see their versions of Swindle. There's the version of Blastoff. Their version of Brawl. Their version of Vortex. Their version of Onslaught. And of course the combined mode, which has lots and lots and lots of stickers on it. We also got the Fans Toys Tesla, which is their Perceptor. Masterpiece Perceptor got its label set released. I believe this is the Sever figure. And then also this is the Toyworld version of Grimlock, the Combiner one. So that has its own label set. Also from Toyworld, because now 4 of the 5 bots are available out there. It looks like someone took an extra version of their Not Slag and used it to make the other arm. So this is kind of an idea of what the combined form of their Dinobot combiner will look like, except for the fact that one of the arms is the wrong figure. Transformissions, that's it. Had a couple of teasers these last few days about a Masterpiece scaled Menasor. And basically, yeah, here we go. You get your breakdown of Wild Rider, I believe that is, and they're done in detail, and so the figures are about the size of Masterpiece Lamber. And nice, very sleek alternate modes. Personally, these are a bit too big for my taste, but if you like your cars in that scale, this is your thing. I'd really like to see more cars done in about Scout class myself. Voodoo Robots showed off some what appear to be near final images of their upcoming Ratchet-inspired figure. And you can see here he is compared to MP10 for if you like that size for your collection. Also, finally, X-Transbots showed off some unpainted test shots of their upcoming Boost figure, which is their version of Masterpiece Windcharger. And it's looking pretty darn good. One word to X-Transbots if you're listening. Guys, we need the Knight Rider versions of these figures. And not just kit, we need kit and car. Thank you very much. This week's spotlight is on the 1994 book Selling Out America's Children by David Walsh. The reason I'm pointing this book out is because in this book, on page 80, there's a citation about the horrible toys that parents should not be buying children. And one of the toys he mentions is the 1988 toy called Horrible, a Transformer Headmaster. In this book, he cites it for having an explicitly violent characterization, function, and motto. The bio for Horrible is a snorting, belching bully with a nasty temper, drips grease and oil from his mouth, and emits a billowing black cloud of noxious black smoke from his nostrils. Enjoys destroying anything that stands in his way, particularly Autobots. In robot mode, uses flamethrower tail to incinerate his enemies, also armed with a concussion blaster, range 12 miles, binary bonded to the Nebulan Kreb, a former talk show host with obnoxious manners. Also, his motto is, smash all that stands and trample the rest. Yep, this is a horrible toy. Don't ever buy this for your children. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get this book, it currently sells for 39 cents on Amazon. Yeah, what a value that is. If you want to get this toy, you can get one in the box for about $250 on eBay. So maybe parents should have bought a couple more of these toys for their kids, and they could have sent them to college on the money you can make selling them. Alright. Now you know, and remember, knowing is half the battle. Alright, we had some feedback on last week's episode. Jewerst Man writes, any ideas when the DX9 Gerwalt is going to be? I'm kind of putting off the idea of buying a Toyworld Devastator that is bigger than the Combiner Wars Devastator. It just doesn't fit in scale with any of the other combiners. Plus, Combiner Wars Devastator was so hollow because it is so big, so anything that large is going to have the same problems or ridiculous ratcheted joints. Maybe I'm just devied out. Okay, well, I have no idea when DX9 Gerwalt, that's their Blitzwing, will be coming out. Unfortunately, they forgot to email me their schedules. I'm going to get on them on that because I'd like to know. But as for the Toyworld Devastator, that's bigger than Combiner Wars Devastator. Yeah, if it's too big for you, or you know, just wait. I don't think this is going to sell out, considering there's like 5 third-party Devastators out there, at least nowadays, and that's just going by molds, not the recolors. So yeah, wait till you at least see the first review before you decide if it's too big or too hollow or whatever. But there's no rush on this one. Personally, I was looking more at just taking the cheap knockoff TSC Hercules and putting some Reprolabels on it myself. That's the cheap way of doing things. Okay, the Old Cut 78 says, so many companies releasing figures, I can't track it anymore. Your videos help out a lot. Well, you're welcome. Yeah. Let's see. Edgaz 2111 says, Wind Charger and Tailgate. I hope they make a Knight Rider version. I agree. Yinin Mai says, great video as always. With 2 third-party companies doing Galvatron now, do you think we'll get a Masterpiece Galvatron from Takara? Honestly, I don't think Takara really keeps track of the third-party releases and says, oh, we better release that too. Because they kind of know that even if the market is flooded with a third-party character of their that they want to do, people will still buy it when it comes out officially if they really are big fans. It's just a thing. Jewish Man also writes, any idea if Perfect Effect Combiner Wars Optimus Prime add-on is just a reworked version they made for Combiner Wars Menasor? I hope not. I don't know. I have to watch the reviews when they come out. It probably is, but I can't tell for sure. He also writes, are there any third parties making a trailer version add-on and legs for the Combiner Wars Optimus? Not that I'm aware of yet. Orbass writes, man, do you really know when you appreciate something when you notice it's gone? And my Sunday night ritual of watching your video before I turned in definitely missed hearing the silly, glitchy, yet enduring retro theme tune songs last weekend. So on to my question. After all these Retro Robot Radio shows, Matt, do you feel like the third-party companies are beginning to take notice of all your hard work of spreading the news about their upcoming projects? I only ask this because it seems like they should be sending you free stuff to review and talk about like they do with some of the Transformer collector personalities that review toys on YouTube. Also, do you feel like you have any influence within third-party business scene at this point? Well, I agree with you. They should all be sending me their toys to review early. Actually, I did get a early review from Play With Us 2, and also a couple companies like KFC, X-Transbots, Play With Us 2, and a few others have sent me the images of their toys before they are released to the public, but then they usually tell me a date that I can release them to you guys for, because I can't release them before anyone else does. So it is nice that these companies do that for me. If someone actually wants to send me a toy to keep, that would be great too. But I don't think they need to do that. I don't feel the need to be bribed with a toy. But yeah, thanks a lot for thinking of me. And do I feel like I have any influence? Well, I've sometimes made suggestions that have happened, but I don't know if that's just, my great idea being used, or if it was, another guy somewhere had the same idea I did. I know that I'm not responsible for making any third-party toys myself because I have no talent. So if anybody does do any of that, it's all their talent and not mine. Alright, Stormrider X writes, nice to know that Tyrant will have tracks. Yes, I agree. That is a good idea. That's the upcoming DX9 Masterpiece Galvatron, and it will have actual tracks in the alternate mode that can, it looks like roll. Or possibly rubber, I'm thinking, but or even silicone tracks. But it's a good idea. I think that's good that they did that. This week's screen capture is of the Android Police from the 1979 classic THX 1138. This week's news brought to you from the pages of tformers.com and TFW 2005. News read by Matthew Ignash. Stop by wikialpha.org to read more about third-party Transformers. Check out the Facebook page of the third-party TF Crashers. And then come on by the Retro Robot Radio YouTube channel and subscribe.